welcome to the Dreamlands, and we are back with Game 3 of this round of 8 series between 10th Wave and Majiir Paktu of the Artifact Cup 27. So this Game 3 is going to be on Kalash Teeth, a very brutal map. And we've had some really interesting plays throughout this series so far. Majiir was able to take Game 1 with some very nice railgun aggression. And it looked like he was almost going to take Game 2 as well, and then 10th Wave came back with some very nice plays and was able to take Game 2, forcing a third one out of this series. So let's get our bearings here and see where we are on the map. We are definitely north, square north. So north side, it's going to be 10th Wave once again, playing as Woohoo Boy, playing as the Coalition. And his opponent, once again, spawning on the south side, it is going to be Majiir Paktu, who has once again rolled Knaf. So a Coalition versus Knaf on a map that I personally love a lot. Can be a challenging map to play on, as you will know if you've seen my casts or if you've watched my map analysis video for this. It can be pretty brutal games on this map, but I love it. And I think part of the reason is it was the very first map I ever played on in this game, and coming directly out of the unbelievably good campaign on Deserts of Kharak. This kind of just gives me nostalgia, this map, for some reason. And as we get into the game, I just want to apologize if my voice sounds a little bit harsh. These past couple of casts, I was at a music festival over the weekend, and so my voice is a little bit raspy. And now I'm just sitting here casting all afternoon trying to catch up on some videos, so bear with me if it sounds a little bit strange. What have we got for builds? Unsurprisingly, we have a forward production cruiser from Majiir, not yet producing any units though. And we've got a couple of LAVs on the field for 10th Wave scouting. And he's doing the scouting for this map perfectly. He's covering the left side, the middle path, and the right side as well. Oh god, we've got blast drones. 3 blast drones have snuck themselves all the way around the backside. Is 10th Wave going to spot them? Is he going to split his salvagers? The answer is no, and they all go down. Oh my god. I feel for you, buddy. Oh man, that was absolutely savage. But a forward turret, look at this. He's basically going to say, fuck you, no you don't, you are not coming through this middle path, and there's going to be nothing that Majiir can do about this at this point in the game. So that was a nice play. Once again, 10th Wave coming out with the very unusual plays, and that's what I love about watching players like 10th Wave. He never does standard plays, typically, and it's good to see him kind of moving out of his comfort zone. Typically in the past I've seen him pretty much just pump mass AAVs in the beginning and then transition into an almost Reppy style brute force macro kind of strategy. But it's interesting to see him in this series so far doing some pretty unusual stuff. This forward turret was a clutch play. That's going to buy him the time to rebuild all of his salvagers. On the back of that, Majiir has grabbed an artifact closest to his extraction zone. He's going to dump that. 10th Wave has grabbed an artifact. He's going to dump that. We've got some skirmishing going down between a couple of LAVs and sand skimmers, and that is a fight that sand skimmers cannot win currently because the LAVs can simply outrange them, provided you micro them and don't let these skimmers get on top. So very nice play from 10th Wave. Nice plays from Majiir too. Transitioning, I'm going to assume, into a production cruiser refinery mode on the back of that blast drone play to try and edge out a little bit of an economic advantage. 1 up, it's about to be, in terms of artifacts, 1 all I should say. So tied neck and neck, and still pretty close. Majiir taking a slight economic advantage, but 10th Wave catching up very nicely. He's already saturated his main again, and he is almost going to be saturated on his first bulkhead, so not lagging too far behind Majiir. Majiir has transitioned into assault railguns, and now this assault railgun and skimmer is going to force off these LAVs. It's also going to put some threat onto 10th Wave's extraction zone. He won't be able to engage this with the limited number of units that he has currently. Just using his one nearly dead LAV to bully this base runner back. to Majiir's side of the map.
Research completed.
Or assault railguns pouring out onto the field, screened with a sand skimmer. Nicely placed scouting drone, just keeping tabs on the timing for Majiir's third. So 10th is going to try and go for it. Is he going to toss another turret down or something? And he is. Look at that. Beautifully placed turret. Look at this turret play. I love this so much. This is very, very unusual. 10th wave on the back of this now getting a support cruiser. So he is catching up in a big way. And with this turret and a couple of screening LAVs, this base runner might be able to make it. But these assault railguns are going to just hug the outside of the turret range. And they won't be able to stop this base runner from delivering the artifact, but they might be able to take it down afterwards. Yep. A heavy railgun and 2 assault railguns. So they are going to clean up this base runner. However, 10th wave has actually gone up 2-1 in terms of artifacts. The support cruiser has hit the field. So both players now mining at full efficiency on 2 resource locations. 10th actually survived with that base runner. What the hell? Look at this thing. Its hull is on fire, smoking. Looks pretty damn cool. So that's interesting. I can't even believe that this base runner made it out alive. That's actually shocking. And 10th wave starting to transition into railguns now. No upgrades yet for his units. We have upgrades for Majiir Paktus. We do. We have armor upgrades for the railguns. So that's pretty cool. What the hell is this? Another turret? It is. That's pretty interesting. If I was him, I would be worried about interceptors at this point, but we don't have any in production. Majiir is trying to go up to a 3 base economy. He does have a second production cruiser on the field. He's going to start mining here. 10th is going to spot it. Not to be caught too far behind, he is building some more salvagers, which are going to start long hauling from his third, and he's going to start sending railguns into the middle of the map, covered by these turrets. That's going to be a pretty nice play by him. Is he actually going to push, though? Looks like he is, which is kind of crazy, especially as it's very, very dangerous pushing railguns through this middle path of the map here. Knef carrier is going to spot the railguns, bully them off with some missile fire from the carrier, and a blast drone even. Oh, is it going to go off? It is going to go off, doing some pretty heavy damage, but not enough to shut these down. Oh, that's what they were doing. These railguns with a couple of LAVs are bullying this base runner, going to try and prevent it from delivering the artifact, and they're not going to get it in time. With a sweet sand skimmer out of left field, going to draw the fire of those railguns away. And a little bit of miss micro from 10th is going to allow that base runner to get the artifact. So it's currently 2-all. And 10th wave has grabbed a third artifact, going to try and run around the backside with it. I feel like 10th needs to take advantage of this window of opportunity where he has a distinct stranglehold on mid. Majiir Paktu can't really come through here, so 10th wave should be abusing that right now, and he should be sending a bunch of LAVs over here, maybe back through the back door. I don't know. He's been playing pretty well, so we're going to see what he has to do. He has a second support cruiser now on the field, so about to go up to a full 3 base economy right on the back of Majiir Paktu. So it looks like, despite his horrific economic losses at the very early moments of the game, he was able to come back in a very big way. Some pretty damn cool turret play. I got to commend him on that. Still neck and neck, though. This game could go either way. Neither player at this point has a very distinct advantage. We'll have to see what's up. A base runner is moving out across the map. Yeah, we do have interceptors in production. Or is that bombers? Nope, interceptors. I can never tell because the icon looks very similar. So interceptors in production for Majiir Paktu. He's got 6, or he will have 6 momentarily in the hangar. pushing forward pretty aggressively with a couple of assault railguns, backed up by a assault ship and a heavy railgun. Very nice combined arms composition. Also taking up a very nice dominant spot here. If he moves his railguns over just a tad, he will be able to get the high ground bonus on all of them. But he's just going to push that base runner off with a little bit of fire and then retreat to repair his damaged units. Oh, a big backstab coming in from 10th Wave. Nicely done. That's going to get shut down, though, before it can really do any appreciable damage. We do have an assault ship as well as a bunch of sand skimmers. That's going to clean up those LAVs. However, on the back of that, 10th Wave was able to go up to a third artifact, so 3-2. And then Majiir Paktu is going to follow suit here with a big push. He's got a blast drone that's actually got target priority from one of these railguns, and that's going to help his railguns actually get right on top of this position. Going to start doing some damage to 10th Wave, force him to bring his carrier out and bully these units off. However, that successfully did shut down 10th Wave's third, which is a nice move, and going to force his carrier out of position. We do have interceptors in the sky from Majiir Paktu. Going to start putting some serious fire down on this base runner, as well as a big swarm of sand skimmers. They're going to come through and just eat turret fire all day. 2 more turrets go down. Look at this crazy turret play. This is actually pretty damn awesome. So his first 2 were, or I should say 2 of his 3 turrets were cleaned up, presumably by those interceptors. This one looks like it might go down to sand skimmers, and then Majiir just, or 10th Wave just plopped down another turret and an anti-air turret, and that is going to cover his base runner successfully, allowing him to go up to 4-2 in terms of artifacts, bringing his carrier directly out to the right side of the map, backed up by a couple railguns and some screening LAVs. He is going to clean up this entire strike force that Majiir sent off to the side, and now 10th Wave is a pretty big advantage now in the game. He's up 4-2 in terms of artifacts. He has got his carrier, who's about to take up a middle position on the map, and on this map, a carrier in mid is super, super strong. This is definitely a position you want to be in. Let's check out his forces advancing. He's actually going to grab a 5th artifact. Is he going to win with artifacts? That is the question. Majiir knows that he's got the artifact. You can see it on the map when your opponent picks up an artifact, and you can see its location. If you check the sensors manager, you'll always be able to see where the artifacts are at any given time. So he knows where it is, he knows that he's grabbed it, and he knows he has to shut this down. Let's see what kind of play he's going to make for. He's definitely wisely going to bring his carrier out into mid, backed up by some assault ships and some heavy railguns, and he's just going to camp. And with 9 interceptors in the hangar, that's actually pretty damn scary. 10th Wave has to be careful here. These turrets are going to get cleaned up. KNF carrier is going to pop them with his missiles. Likely going to pop this one afterwards. A little bit of blind fire coming out from these missiles, just trying to force 10th Wave back. But he's not going to be denied. He is just going to push in here. What does it look like? He is just researching power reserves 3, so he does have a lot of power on his carrier, much more than Majiir has, thanks to his advantage in terms of artifacts. A huge engagement coming out here. That anti-air turret is going to be very, very handy. However, Majiir's interceptors just swarm the sky, and with this number of interceptors, all of those railguns are going to get absolutely decimated. Now 10th Wave is going to actually be forced into retreat, so very, very nice push from Majiir. Oh, he's got another production cruiser here. Did he lose one? No, he didn't. He just wants to put one here so he can keep his carrier out mid. But a beautiful backstab again with these LAVs coming out from 10th Wave. Just going to start cleaning up all of the salvagers at Majiir's main here. And Majiir has no answer to this currently. And with the carrier just tanking all of this damage and pumping out railgun after railgun, Majiir is going to be forced into retreat here. And it looks like 10th is in a very dominant position. His anti-air turret is still up, shockingly. He's able to clean up 4 of those interceptors, actually, by the looks of it. Majiir is just going to be forced into retreat. His carrier is dangerously close to going down, actually going to be forced to launch interceptors out of desperation. And with LAVs wreaking havoc behind his lines, Majiir's in a pretty tough spot. I don't think he can come back from this, actually. So again, with a massive and very, very impressive comeback, his 10th wave looks like he's going to take game 3. Yeah, there's nothing that Majiir can do. His carrier is going to explode spectacularly, and 10th wave is going to take the series and move on into the round of 4. So very, very nicely played by both players. Fantastic game. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Leave a like, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you for the next game.